I intimidated the hell out of that ISB officer.
Yeah. So
That's true.
you hear the sound of Quarren leaving the station, and through this open door, you see guys like filing out down this hallway, and they're all making it to this upper opposite basically side of the lab where there were a couple of escape bongos that were parked at the bottom of the piling. He says you came in, that nobody made a check to check out. But eventually, it's just you. The sound of commotion through the lab dies down after a couple of minutes, and it's just you and the 6 Quarren sitting at the mess tables. The one who's in a puddle of his own ink goes, "So you're gonna let us go or what?"
Zeef levels him with a very serious expression and says, "You need to tell us everything you know about this operation. Everything."
Well, I would say they killed. These were the guys that killed the one Aqualish, right? So.
Yeah, can we identify, or did they fire as a minion group, or can we identify a culprit within that group that fired the shot? Is that a thing we can do?
Wouldn't we know everything, though?
Or does the mechanic kind of... Well, Zeef has questions beyond the scope of, like, yeah, they're working for the Karkaros.
No, I explicitly said that it was the guy over at the counter who had been, like, at, like, the...
Okay, so we know which one. Okay,
you
cool.
know exactly which guy it was who pulled the trigger of that blast.
I mean, like, I would say then, like, you 5 can
this
go free
one,
with what we know, but this one, he's going to have to answer for the death of, you know.
This one is bound by law. You 5 can go if you tell us everything you know.
They say, we just work here, man. We got shipped in from Nar Shaddaa because we're good processors. Your buddy over there in the bongo, he's the one who was running the place. Him and some other big shots.
How long? How long have you been here?
They start looking back and forth. I don't know, 6 weeks maybe?
Yeah.
Real new
Yeah,
operation.
I mean,
We only just sort of got it up and running. That's why we got so much raw around still. We're still working the kinks out. We hadn't gotten the go-ahead to really, get things going full steam.
I bring my lightsaber back from his head and place it back on my hip.
I would like Worram to also be, like, while this is going on, I would like to try and just search around the station for a terminal or something. A computer terminal.
Sure. I'm just going to ask Worram, which way are you going to go first? Either sort of, if we say north is the top of the map, are you going to go north or are you going to go west there? So I can just tell you which room you reach first. You knew that this room was probably like the power core based on your scans on the way.
Probably to the north, I imagine. That's where he was trying to flee to, so that would make sense to me.
So as you head out, these guys are going to continue their questioning, and we're going to get back to it in just a moment. As the Zeef and Xavix continue to press the Quarrens about the operation, Worram, you head in the direction Sully was attempting to flee. To your right, as you enter the first of these pressurized corridors, you see another short corridor, and as you just poke down there to look in the room where those 3 Quarren had vacated, you find a small room packed with computer terminals.
Nice.
There's a communications terminal here, as well as the life support, operations. This is like the ops center for this lab in the room that you find here. You can continue to look around or just, start making checks in here as you want, and then we'll get back to the results of those.
Well, I am interested in making checks, but I know that Zeef also had some ideas for stuff that he would like to find.
So you want to get back to it?
I'll get back to him. Here. Let him know that I found. I think I found the communications room, and then just say I'll just be kind of, scoping it out here. Trying to get familiar with the system, maybe or something.
Okay, so you're going to stay in ops there instead of continuing to explore. Okay. then I won't reveal any more of the map.
Then Zeef responds, because I assume you calm him to tell him that.
Yeah.
So Zeef responds with just, "Okie day, sounds good. Let me know if you find anything."
Will do, Zeef.
Right. The Quarren are being pretty, like, they're saying, they were just brought in here to do the processing work down at this lab. They knew it was a hush-hush operation, but they've been working for the Karkaros long enough that they were brought in. None of them heard about anything like this until 6 weeks ago, and then it was pretty quick setup, and they hadn't even brought things online yet. But, the Karkaro...
I was going to say, you should check in with Dan periodically for security checks, because there has to be security guards there, I'm sure.
Well, we got everyone to... Everyone just moseyed on out because we scared them.
Are you just checking your light?
My light's a little bit weird, but yeah. Can we let the rest of them go except for the one? I think we got a good haul.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think they know anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a bunch. These kids are green. They don't know.
Either way, they let their thing get taken over, so they're not. Yeah.
They're of no use to anyone.
Okay. Well, these Aqualesh are willing to do whatever you need them to as you explore the rest of this lab or question Sully.
I have questions for Sully, but I would like to compound them with whatever evidence I might find in the lab.
Yeah, you want to do your investigation.
I'd like to go meet up with Worram in the communication center.
Actually, before you do that, why don't you go to, I'll calm you and be like, why don't you check out Sully and see if he's got any, code cylinders or anything like that.
That's a good idea. Okay. Then I will climb onto the bongo, head to the back bubble where the Aqualish are sitting with him, and just motion for them to stand him up so I can frisk him real quick, go through all his pockets and everything.
Excellent. Give me a perception check to see if you can find anything that might be secreted, on him and hidden. Let me find his stealth real quick. It's going to be 2 reds and a purple.
Can I get a boost from either of the Aqualish guards that are
skullduggery, actually?
Oh, it's skullduggery. I'm sorry. So you're going to use your skullduggery against 2 reds and a purple.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were saying for his.
The difficulty is skullduggery. I'm sorry. It's your perception against his skullduggery. Okay, well that makes it easier for you. It's going to be 3 purples.
Can I get a boost from either of the Aqualish that are guarding
You can
him?
get a blue boost, yes, because they're holding him so that he can't shift away from you.
Right. All right. What has it got in its pockets?
1 success. That's all you need.
Sully is wearing his, like many aquatic species, he's got an aquatic assault suit type armor setup that he's wearing with a number of pouches around on his arms and legs, like an action figure. You find another one of those powerful grenades that you got off the other boys. I think that'll be your 3rd Karkaro grenade. He's got a comm link separate from the one that was wired into the detonator. He's got a pouch that is probably for magazines for his sniper rifle that's empty. But you don't find any, code keys or data sticks. That kind of stuff would have definitely probably been on Gil.
Gotcha. He was kind of the brains. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So you're gonna join me up in the.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over to your location, see if we can't do some slicing together, figure this out.
I was gonna say, if there's offices, you should.
Yeah, I'm gonna go around and check around.
Yeah, maybe Xavix wants to kind of spy out the rest of the base while we're doing that.
Scope areas out. I'll keep in radio contact with you in case I find something that stands out. Do you want me to look for anything specific?
Anything illegal that we could use to charge these guys?
Okay, so weapons,
illegal spice, weapons, big stockpiles of things they shouldn't be having. are any sort of communiques or things that could like suggest that they're in league with other criminal organizations?
So we'll move Xavix from room to room making checks while you
drug
guys
dealer
in between your computers checks.
Yeah, the drug dealer Rolodex, exactly.
Are you going to go clockwise or anti-clockwise through this place, Xavix?
I figured I'd go. I would have gotten that information from them here. Said I'm going to head out. Then I'll probably do this one. Oh, sorry.
You're going to go into this center room where the moon pool was?
No.
Well, where are you going to go then?
Down this hallway, then go this area, and then go over here. I guess checking everything out.
Okay, so you're going to go up to that top corridor. All right, so you head down the short corridor in the direction that the fleeing Quarren from the control room had headed. In this long corridor on the far side of the lab from where you cut your entrance, you see a number of hatches that were probably the escape chutes down to the bongos that the fleeing Quarren have taken. You head past some crates, and you see through two open doors into the room where the moon pool led. Along one wall of which you saw more stacked spice barrels and
steel containers.
Crate. Yep, plenty of plastic containers. The room in the far corner from the mess hall is the barracks. There are bunk beds lining the two long walls, and there are foot lockers, and the various, detritus accumulated by, a number of individuals living in cramped quarters, for like 6 weeks now, other than the ones who were like taking shifts going up to the warehouses on the dock, and such like. If you want to...
I'd like to check out the next room.
Okay, excellent. You head into another short corridor at the end of which is one of the hatches that you could have taken. One of the actual access hatches. There are access valves and monitoring stations for the large pressurized external containers that read that they are only partially filled with processed spice at this point. This is apparently the finished goods container for the lab. The final corridor that you guys pulled up along leads into a small room that has the power generator for the lab, and then back into the mess hall. That other central room that you haven't seen yet can only be accessed via the moon pool and docking area.
Well, since it's the last place to check, I might as well go walk towards there.
All right, so you loop around back through. You see the Quarren who had successfully shot one of your posse members, looks fairly terrified between the threat of destruction by bomb, the lightsaber that you were holding to the forehead of one of his coworkers, and the fact that now, the relatives of the guy he shot are the ones who are standing guard on him with no supervision. He looks, absolutely terrified out of his mind.
It's not a good spot
as
to
you pass him. You head into the moon pool room. There are plenty of plasteel boxes and cylindrical spice containers, but through a door at the far side of the room, you find the processing room itself, where there are, instead of tables and makeshift, drug processing lab, these are actually high-tech, purpose-built machines that are operated, by computer technicians and chemists to do the processing through a technological method. After it's brought in, you don't find any Quarren hiding or waiting, to jump out at you or anything like that. And now you can make, actual search checks on any of these locations to try to find, more details about any of it. Now that you've made your way around.
I think I was just doing a general check. I think I'll
Yeah,
let the
that's fine.
come in and take a look at the big things.
I have a meta question. Sorry.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, I'll go over and talk to Zeef and Worram and let them know what I found, and then in the meantime, I'm just gonna go hang in this room and kind of wait for him and that kind of stuff. Make sure our escape route's good to go.
So kind of pursuant to that, I'm going to say while he's been walking around, kind of checking all the nooks and crannies, me and Zeef have kind of been up to our own thing.
Yeah, of course,
so
you have.
Now, and then
you're going to make the computers check.
Kind of
that's what my meta question is concerning. So I want to get evidence that links Sully to Spider, and I'm going to spend a destiny point to get it. Is it, in your opinion, better to use the destiny point to affect the outcome of the computer check and get the evidence? Or should I use the destiny point on Sully to get him to actually cop to it?
You're going to use the destiny point at the end. You're going to have to still be successful with your checks. And then at the end, you're going to use a destiny point so that when you're successful, it points to Spider. But you can't just use a destiny point to get the information. You guys are still going to have to hack the computer or social hack Sully.
Well, then let's do the scene, because that was my question.
Yeah. We'll make it be what you want.
Another point to that. Did we bring Stomper with us?
I asked earlier. I think we left him behind, because he would have been mentioned already at this point if he was here, I think.
I figured. All right.
I didn't have any ruling on that either way. You know,
he's
what
getting
I mean?
up to stuff with N4, and we don't need to know what that is.
Yeah,
in the closet.
It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous a situation.
Taking an oil bath.
He does not like being underwater. That's canon.
Yes,
that's true.
He is a battery, and he does not want to be completely submerged.
He's a power droid. That's like the worst possible fucking thing to bring.
It's his nightmare. It's just one constant low gong. The whole time you have him underwater until you bring him back out.
All right. Zeef.
Yes, you're going to make a computer's check to actually get access into this system while Xavix was doing his initial search.
Your computer is just higher than mine, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I will give you a boost. And you can
but so he's kind of like, while you've been, because you went on the ship to search, or went back on the sub to search Sully, and in the meantime, Worm was kind of getting familiar with the system, just checking out like the very surface level operating system and stuff to kind of familiarize himself. And when you walk through the door, he says, "Zeef, so what do you? I think we found the brains of the op here. What are you looking for?"
Oh, perfect. We need to find any sort of communications that these people have been sending outside of the Karkaro frequencies. Who else have they been talking to?
All right, communique. Let me see if I can call that up here. All right, what's the difficulty on that?
So these guys did at least shut down their system before they left. So you have to get yourself some access in here. It's going to be a hard computers check. There is one setback worth of security system layered on top of just the difficulty of getting access into this locked out system. There is a little bit of Norton in there as well.
Okay. One setback and how many purples?
3.
3 purple.
The hard check.
Alright.
And a boost.
What are we at for Destiny right now?
I know that 1 has been spent already for the doctor.
It is even right now.
Oh, okay.
It is even.
I've been spending them as well. I just haven't mentioned it.
Now.
Been flipping them to add bombs by Gil and bongos for Quarren and stuff like that.
That still gives us enough to do what we need to do later on, but we don't want to accidentally shut ourselves out of this system before we even get a chance to.
Very true.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to do the other. Well, that's fine. I won't have spent the destiny since it came up.
Add Zeef's. Oh, you didn't do the upgrade. Add the boost from Zeef also.
Me some boost.
Zeef gave you a boost.
Yeah. So I won't have spent it just because I forgot to add it in.
Well, that smells stinkwith.
Yeah. All right. So one success.
A success and a threat. If you get a cumulative 4 threats, you will be locked out of the system, or else you're hacking. So you have 1 threat right now. But you have successfully accessed into the system, and now you have, access to make checks to look for the various kinds of information that you want within it. Sort of thing. So now you can make.
I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. So communiques. All right. I think it should be, under this file server or something.
It is going to be a knowledge underworld check.
Okay.
To do.
I think you might have knowledge underworld, Zeef.
I think I do. And just for some flavor, do you guys remember in Jurassic Park when the girl had to hack and that the operating system had those weird islands of files connected by tunnels on the computer?
This is Unix. I know this.
Can we just say that's what it looks like?
Absolutely. Yeah,
it looks like some janky 90s shit.
It's like a 3D. It's a 3D model of the file system.
Yeah, it's like, why would you make this?
Move an avatar through. Definitely.
Underworld knowledge, is that mine? My dice pool is
Underworld.
2 greens, but I have a remove setback, I think.
Oh, I thought you had a rank in it. Okay.
No, I don't. I don't have a rank, but I do have it for career, and I have a remove setback from a talent.
The new build.
You have bought info though, right?
I do have bought info. I don't want to pay these guys.
No, but what it'll be is that.
Hey Sully, here's $50. How do we turn on the computer?
I think it'll be retroactively, you paid somebody for a code break.
You did, and he did because he paid a guy already, and you just realized you owe that guy more money because the information that he gave you, the guy up at the landing platform, remember, you paid him for information about ship movement. And you're like, oh man, I owe him more because that information ended up being more valuable because you're looking at the list of incoming and outgoing frequencies. And you have a Carcaro frequency from the call that you monitored at the beginning of the investigation.
So we can eliminate those.
Exactly. And you have frequencies for ships that have been making drop-offs, and that leaves only 2 frequencies left on this station with calls, and it helps you vastly with your narrowing down. So now you've only got 2 calls other than the ones that are either going to these ships or to the Carcaros that you can monitor.
Because I don't know how many more threats we've got. We don't want to get locked out of the system.
We got 3.
You can get 3 more threat before you're locked out.
I would like to download the calls onto a data fad before identifying them, just to make sure we have copies in case it goes down, so we can identify them at our leisure.
Worm can definitely do that. Get a local copy or something.
Do you need a check for that? Because I can give you another boost.
This is a secure drug
lab like a man
computer.
Who doesn't trust autosave.
Yes, this is a professional crime organization. They are going to ask you to put your password in again before you make copies of the incoming and outgoing messages.
Gotcha.
To another.
$2 says password works.
So you're going to have to make another check. You are already in, so you don't have to worry about the setback. It is going to be 3 purples for a computer check to make a copy of these calls.
Okay. And,
and you're getting a boost from Zeef.
All right, and
are you using a destiny point this time?
I am going to spend that destiny point.
Can you get a second boost from Xavix, who's also in the room? Even though Xavix doesn't really have much to offer computer-wise.
Well, Xavix is still technically walking,
this is while he's going and investigating the whole place.
Right. We're Tarantinoing it.
Yeah.
Then he can join you guys.
Password, job is a bitch.
I'm not going to have it all happen.
Whoa, you just said, then he can join you guys, and he immediately walks back into frame. That was crazy.
There I go. Well, triumphantly, you do. Worram just copies it all because, having copies of the convos with the Carcaros and this and that work. Triumphantly, when Worram makes copies of these calls onto the data pad, some of the metadata auto-populate because one of these frequencies is already in your contact list. Triumphantly, somebody here's been calling the spider.
That bastard. I knew it.
No wonder they set this place up as soon as Vork went off planet.
They've been trying to destabilize what Vork has. It's a power grab.
Yep.
We can use this for sure. All right, I think this is all the evidence we need. Let's go talk to Sully.
So how about that's where Xavix comes in?
Yeah.
Cool.
Xavix comes in then.
So we let him know. You were dealing with the spider too, right, Xavix?
Yes, I was working with him to get the race started.
Well, we might have some pretty pertinent info regarding him and his boss Fork. When did you say he was going to be arriving back on planet?
I'm pretty sure it was tomorrow. 2 days. 2 days. I knew that.
We said not got a lot of time. We got to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
I think we should confront Spider with this evidence after the race, potentially.
Let's make sure this race goes off a hitch. I think we've got people's livelihoods on the line for this.
Also, if this all plays out when Vork is here, Spider won't. The buck won't stop with Spider anymore, and he won't be able to override whatever happens. If I can convince Vork in person, then Spider won't be able to have me just thrown in the Rancor pit for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, guys. I think
wait.
we're gonna put the pin in this scene then, as you guys pack up the rest of the lab and your couple of prisoners and head back out, up to the surface so that we can return to Narset Jin after we take our break.
You gotta have a exploding.
Are you going to destroy the place on your way?
Well, that's what
out?
I was going to say. I wanted to have one last little narrative moment. So we load everything back up. We're in the bongo. We're on our way back out. And Zeef and Worram are sort of sitting, looking out the bubble at the lab, which is slowly getting smaller in the distance. And they're talking about how, a great big underwater detective agency would be a great upgrade. It's a nice facility.
I'm going to pick it up right there for you, Zeef, because you're having this discussion about how nice a place it is. And, you'll be able to... You got to fix up the place before you turn it back over to Birdie, and et cetera, et cetera. But as you're looking back, a hand large enough to encapsulate the entire lab within its grasp comes out of the blackness, closes around the structure in a massive fist the size of I don't know, a Star Cruiser, and just recedes back into the murk.
Amazing. There's always a bigger fish.
So we're going to put a pin in there, and then we're going to come back to Narset after a brief break. You've been watching Star Wars Showdown on Iceball Station.